Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. At this time, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. And there they go. And out for the lead is Garrity's Girl. Also there, Roxy's Kingdom. Here's Mizzy's Image punching on through from the inside. She'll pick it up. So it is Mizzy's Image the quickest from Roxy's Kingdom and Garrity's Girl. Time travels up close. Then Coup de Parte and Smoke and Ziva racing for purse money only is the last of six. On the front end, Mizzy's Image a tight length. To the outside is Time Travel making a move for second. From the rail, Garrity's Girl inside of stablemate Roxy's Kingdom. Coup de Parte is a little more than 5.5 or 6 off the pace, and it's about a length and a half to Smoke and Ziva. So it's Mizzy's Image race to the 5/16, 2 lengths to Time Travel, trying to get a little closer. Mizzy's Image a length and a half. Time Travel comes under pressure. They have skipped well clear from the others. Coup de Parte, Smoke and Ziva, Roxy's Kingdom, and Garrity's Girl. 3/16 to travel, and the race goes through. Mizzy's Image maintaining a length and a half. Time Travel continues to pursue from the outside. Mizzy's Image, Time Travel trying to wear her down. Mizzy's Image, Time Travel to the outside. Here's Time Travel getting up in the final stages. Time Travel from Mizzy's Image. Then Coup de Parte, Smoke and Ziva, Garrity's Girl, and all right, we've got the prices up. 2-3, 2B4, and the 2-3 exact of $5.20. Once again, number one pick. And there they go. Starship Dreams away in last. Road to the Crown begins quickly, but here's Mission Cat picking it up with Saichi Mana. Silver Banshee strides into the fourth spot. Not Now Donald is fifth, then Goldwork and Starship Dreams. So the two debutantes are towards the tail. Pace is on with Saichi Mana and Mission Cat. Saichi Mana has her head in front. Silver Banshee's up close from the rail. Not Now Donald's in the fourth spot. Road to the Crown broke aggressively. She's losing a little bit of ground. Here's Starship Dream slowly into stride, really picking it up, getting into fifth. 4 lengths off the lead at the 3/8. And Goldwork's the last of all to the rail. So here's Mission Cat making her move to tackle Saichi Mana. Starship Dreams came away last. She's quickly into the race. Has a length to find at the quarter pole. They're going to Silver Banshee, Not Now Donald. Goldwork, Road to the Crown at the tail. And it's Mission Cat who gets the lead, immediately tackled by Starship Dreams. From the rail is Silver Banshee, and Goldwork's really finding her stride to the far outside. Here comes Goldwork to the far outside, and Silver Banshee from the rail. Silver Banshee along the rail, and Goldwork way out in the center of the racetrack, and they hit the wire together. Silver Banshee or one of her owners, part of the breeding line. That's Gary Marsh. The other winning breeder is Sin. And there they go. Hump Day towards the tail of the field. Liam's Majesty with a quick start. Mercedes Joe comes away in second. In the third spot is Boston Billy with Egan Spengler from his outside, then Beach Pass. And Hump Day, the big favorite, is the early trailer. Liam's Majesty, he likes to go quick on the front end, and he's doing it again this afternoon, building up better than 4.5 lengths. In the second spot there is Mercedes Joe. Boston Billy third, Egan Spengler a little deep. Hump Day now in the fifth position in the two-path. Tight spot for Hump Day. Now he's going to go back to the tail as Beach Pass advances steadily up the inside. Liam's Majesty making the pace all the way to the 5/8, better than 3. In the second spot, Mercedes Joe with Beach Pass. And Boston Billy 3 wide, Egan Spengler from the outside. And Hump Day had to put on the brakes through the first turn. He remains towards the tail of the field. 49 1/5. Liam's Majesty now cruising on the lead, better than 4 lengths. Beach Pass second with Mercedes Joe. Hump Day strides into fourth, trying to close in. Flanked by Boston Billy, Egan Spengler's at the back. So it's Liam's Majesty, the one to come and get. Pursuing is Mercedes Joe and Beach Pass. Hump Day from the inside. Boston Billy advances with a clear run. Egan Spengler struggling at the tail. Still Liam's Majesty, the one to overhaul. Hump Day has some room from the rail. Liam's Majesty has the lead. Hump Day's going to try to come and get him inside the final 3/16. Far outside is Boston Billy. And Beach Pass fights on. Liam's Majesty ready to get swarmed on. Hump Day from the inside. Beach Pass to his outside. Farther out races Boston Billy. Here's Beach Pass and Hump Day from the rail. Hump Day and Beach Pass far outside Boston Billy. Hump Day and Beach Pass, and they are in a photo finish. Hump Day or Beach Pass. 1, 2, 3 trifecta, $2.42. One Hump Day was claimed, six-way shake. And there they go. Trapper Jane with a quick start from the far outside. Troll Crossing is really sent from the rail, and she will be the quickest. Troll Crossing making the pace. Traipse and Utopia vying for second with Beach Princess. Social Mobility right behind them. Trapper Jane from the far outside. And Moment of Triumph is the last of 6. So it's Troll Crossing. It was sent for speed. And she makes the pace pretty comfortably. 2.5 lengths to Traipse and Utopia and Beach Princess. Trapper Jane, 3 wide. Social Mobility to her inside. 4 lengths from the front. And about 1.5 lengths to Moment of Triumph. 24 4/5. Harry Hernandez and Troll Crossing establish the lead all the way to the 5/8. 2.5 lengths to Traipse and Utopia and Beach Princess. Farther out races Moment of Triumph with a middle move vying for third. Trapper Jane is second last, and Social Mobility bides her time at the tail. 49 3/5 for Troll Crossing, better than 3. From Traipse and Utopia, Beach Princess, Moment of Triumph deep at the 3/8. Trapper Jane in the 2-path, and Social Mobility yet to gear up. And Troll Crossing's had the run of the race. She leads by better than 3. Traipse and Utopia continues to chase with Beach Princess. Then with a Trapper Jane, Moment of Triumph, and Social Mobility, and Troll Crossing trying to go all the way on the front end. Troll Crossing turns for home with the lead. Now Beach Princess tries to cut into the margin. Beach Princess from the outside. We're going to Traipse and Utopia and Trapper Jane, but Troll Crossing got an easy lead. There's Social Mobility trying to fly through the late stages. Troll Crossing and Social Mobility. Troll Crossing. Social Mobility just waited way too long. She's second. For the 142 trifecta, $17.62. The dollar super, $110. And there they go. Peek and Pook shows pace. There's Dr. Lloyd. There's JP Song. Bustin' Hoffman wants to go from the rail. Melman at the tail. JP Song has the lead. From Peek and Pook and Bustin' Hoffman, Dr. Lloyd is fourth. Melman's the last to 5. And it's about 5 lengths from first to last. And JP Song now asserts his speed and opens up better than 2. Bustin' Hoffman's trying to get off the inside from his outside. Races Peek and Pook. And Dr. Lloyd has a little more than 3 to find at the 3/8, and he's 2 clear of Melman. So it's JP Song. Bustin' Hoffman is off the rail. He's on the attack. Peek and Pook's under a drive from third. Dr. Lloyd tries to commence his bid. Here's Dr. Lloyd in the three-path closing in. Melman not doing much at the tail. J.P. Song and Bustin' Hoffman, and Dr. Lloyd comes a-calling. J.P. Song retreats, and here is Dr. Lloyd to tackle Bustin' Hoffman. Bustin' Hoffman has a narrow lead at the 8th pole, and Dr. Lloyd is under left-handed urging. Bustin' Hoffman keeping Dr. Lloyd at bay, and it's Bustin' Hoffman coming clear in the late stages. Bustin' Hoffman from Dr. Lloyd, then Melman, and J.P. Song for 1-4-6-2 up on the board. The exact is $16.20. At the post. And there they go. Encryption Key away a little slowly. Quick recovery. Economic Policy got the worst of the start. He's the early trailer. Encryption Key was sent hard to make the lead. He wasn't that quickly away, but he will find the front before the 7/8 from two-step slew. And boy, they are really going at a pretty good clip for the level. Into third is Guerreran with Sky Riding and Duck Pond Road 3 wide. And Economic Policy is at the back. So Encryption Key was sent hard to make the lead. And he has the lead by about a length and a tail to his outside. Races two-step slew. 3 lengths to Guerreran, saving a little bit of ground with Duck Pond Road. Then Sky Riding second last. Economic Policy is 6 lengths off the lead. 23 3/5. Indeed, it was a quick tempo, especially for the level. And it is Encryption Key, who has the lead to himself, better than 2 lengths from two-step slew, following from the second spot. Sky Riding is eager to go from the rail. Duck Pond Road 4 wide, Guerreran 3 wide. And Economic Policy has a little more than 4 lengths to find, racing into the far turn run. 48 2, got to slow the second quarter down. Encryption Key 2.5. Here's Duck Pond Road into second from Guerreran. Two-step slew is backed out of it. Economic Policy strides into the 4th spot. A lot of work to do. 8 lengths from Encryption Key. And despite going quick early, got a breather in the second quarter. He looks tough at the top of the lane. Encryption Key, step up to get to him. Opens up better than 3.5. Duck Pond Road is second. Guerreran makes the move for that spot. Guerreran's trying to close, but Encryption Key has the race at the 16th. Encryption Key all the way on the front end. Guerreran second, and into third is Economic Policy. Encryption Key didn't break the cleanest, hustled to get the lead, slowed it. Daily double, race 7 is in 25 minutes. 4:10 is the scheduled post time. And there they go. Clarice comes away in last. Flurry of Roses shows good speed with Delaware Destiny. Also up close races Count on Friends and Melissa Smile. And here's Clarice, not the quickest away, but she vies for second from the top shelf. Flurry of Roses now third last. Pal Saratoga Gal second last with Starship Kiara advancing to her inside. So it's Delaware Destiny making the pace by herself, 2.5 lengths to Clarice, who chases all the way to the 3/8. It's a break of a length and a half to Count on Friends with Melissa Smile, and with a Flurry of Roses. Starship Kiara is a good 8 lengths off the lead. She's in the 2-path. Pal Saratoga Gal's finding her stride along the rail. She's 9 lengths off the lead. And towards the tail races Ranina's Rose. So Delaware Destiny got away with an easy lead. Starship Kiara is really taking off to the far outside. She finds her stride. She could be the late threat. It's Delaware Destiny at the 8th pole. Starship Kiara is taking off. Flurry of Roses is trying to re-rally up the inside. Delaware Destiny trying to get to the wire. Here's Flurry of Roses and Starship Kiara. Delaware Destiny. A double for Joel Cruz. Starship Kiara, I believe, second, then Flurry of Roses and Clarice by SF Bloodstock LLC. 7th race is official, 2318. 3-2 double, $67.50. A pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, our Tuesday opener in about 45 minutes. 110 is the post. For the opener, 9-race card this afternoon. A good racetrack. Here are the changes. Pretty light on changes. First 4 races are clear of change. Race 1 starts the early double and the early pick 3. The second race will start the early pick 4. And the fourth race will start the pick 6. No carryover in the pick 6. First 4 races are clear of change. Fifth race will start the pick 5. 6 weather advisory ownership line should read Chevalier Stable. Race 6 will start our late pick 4. The 4 Crazy Delight, 1 pound over. 5 Gilda Marie, ownership line Scott Sales and Sheila Engelhardt. 7th race begins a late pick 3. Here's a scratch 5 Frosty the Dragon, 5 Frosty the Dragon out of the 7th. 8th race will begin the late daily double. Scratches 2 and 3 La Rubia and Hey Easy. 2 La Rubia, 3 Hey Easy, both scratch from the 8th race. And in the nightcap, number 3 Wills Bay should be listed as a gelding. Gelding number 3 Wills Bay in the nightcap. Pretty light on changes. Hot and sticky afternoon. The opener in 43 minutes at 110. 9 races, a good racetrack. Up next, Mr. Dave Mattice.
I'm Dave Mattice here, Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. Yeah, at least the track's drying out a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too bad today. We are expecting some more thunderstorms in the area, maybe kind of hit or miss today, but heading our way. A little hotter day today, a little more humid. So we'll see how that plays out. Yesterday, especially the second half of that card, it became a strong speed bias. You got the front end, you were the winner. And if you were playing speed yesterday, front speed ticket, you did pretty well. And then there was a couple of good payouts. Unwavering, the speed of the last was a good price. You had the race before with Rohina, that was a good price. So, it's just a good speed day yesterday. Make notes of that. Some of the horses that made a big closing move and came up a little bit short. They actually ran a pretty big race against the track. Kind of things to keep an eye on here at Finger Lakes when you play these horses back. Good racetrack, though, today. Maybe drying out as mentioned, if we could get the rain to hold off. I want to mention this coming Monday, one of our biggest stakes races of the year, the New York Derby, mile 16th race for 3-year-old New York breds. That's going to take place Monday. It'll be a feature race on the card. We're not going to run the Oaks that day. Going to be just the New York Derby. We'll see if we can run the Oaks a different day. But looking at some of the entrants, was drew yesterday. Hold the Salsa looks tough in there as the 2-time stakes winner. You got Lobster, who's the early favorite, but looks like that one only runs on an off track or better on an off track. The way the weather's been, maybe Lobster will get an off track that he likes. Pletcher's got a horse off the maiden win, American Revolution. And then he's a couple locals that have a look against some of these horses coming in. You got a huge checkpoint for Rachel Sells. And also Ja Mode, who was very impressive in his last victory. He's in there for Jeff Engelhardt. So pretty good field for the New York Derby. Again, $150,000 added stakes race. That'll be coming up this coming Monday. Man, time's going quick. Don't believe we ran the race last year, so it'll be kind of exciting to run that race. It's always good to see what those horses do onward. You see the horses come in here for the 2-year-old events. Some of them come back if they can go the distance in that New York Derby. And then you kind of watch them run against open company. Some of them have gone on to some really good careers coming out of that New York Derby race. Of course, we've had a couple of real good ones that had good careers here and elsewhere, including a horse like Tin Cup Chalice, who won the Big Apple Triple that one year. Well, let's look at today's card. All right, first race, a 5,000 claimer that goes the distance of 6 furlongs. You got some good ones that have some chance to improve. The off-track may play a role in this race. We'll see if speed still plays a role in the race. It only help the early favorite even more. Talking about It's Hot Out, who's going to be a big favorite in here, and deservedly so. He just missed for 5,000 last time against Bold Lee, and then the race before just missed for 5,000 against the sharp Rayo My King. Gets a little time off. I guess 6 furlongs would be the big issue, or any issue for It's Hot Out. But if the track's, again, like yesterday, I don't think it mattered the distance. You got the front end, you just kept going and you won. Nobody could close. But maybe a little different going to good today, but It's Hot Out class-wise with the back class, and looks like the speed of the speed, he's going to be tough to beat. You may be looking for a couple horses to beat him. Kathleen Gutterson looking for her first career training victory. She's got a good chance with Best Surprise in here. This one had an outside post and actually ran pretty well despite having that wide trip from the outside post against a decent beaten $5,000 field. And before that, in the 1 in 6 months, this horse did run against It's Hot Out and didn't fare too well, but wasn't that badly beaten by that rival. So if It's Hot Out gets out there and just simply can't get the 6 furlongs, maybe Best Surprise would have the chance to turn the tables. Well, you got Drama's Boy. I mean, Ubik had a couple in there, former Conway trainees in that race, and I was surprised neither of them did very well. And Drama's Boy, an old class horse, old expensive horse, maybe needed the race. And if you think that Drama's Boy needed the race, you might be able to play him today. I mean, you talk about a horse that's consistent at the bottom level, and even at the higher than bottom level. He's been consistent throughout his career. To run that badly, you got to kind of wonder, maybe he needed one. And if so, maybe he could pull off the upset against It's Hot Out. A lot of question marks there. Now, if you're looking for a horse that likes an off track or likes it the most in the field, well, that would be Full Faith and Credit. Is he good enough to beat these? I don't think so. I think he's a step below a couple of them. But the off track as an equalizer to get him into the number, yeah, that's a good possibility, at least to make it into the Super in a 6-horse field. 3, 5, 6, 4 in race number 1. All right, second race. A 5,000 claimer, never won 2 condition, going a distance of 1.70 miles. This race starts the pick 4. We got 9 races on today's card. And, man, you couldn't start off the early pick 4 with a more competitive race. I think I spent more time looking at this race, watching replays of every horse, than any other race on today's card. I had a real tough time coming up with a winner in this race. And it may play out that way. You might get a few of them that have a chance at the end. It's going to come down to who gets the trip. Because there's some horses coming out of some good races, some horses that have some question marks, but they're all pretty evenly matched with absolutely no standout. Kind of interesting to see who will be actual favorite in here. You got some drop downs. Number 1, let's look at the drop downs. You got Ringgood, you got Cray Cray, who drops in class as well, and Trigger Pull takes a slighter drop from 7,500. I'm looking at Ringgood. Broke his maiden in a maiden special. He did it in a slop, so he doesn't mind some moisture in the track, and he beats Storm of Fleet, who likes an off track. So that's a really good race. Now his last race, not so good, but keep in mind the winner. Dancers for Token. Where did that horse come from? Dancers for Token was off of a layoff and just galloped in there. Won for fun, so the margin of defeat maybe not as bad as it looks. It wasn't like he was that far behind the second and third horse. And keep in mind, Sneeds just won the other day for the Murph. So you look at that race. All right, let's draw a line through it. Nobody was beating Dancers for Token. I don't know where that race came from. You talk about a horse running well fresh. What a great training job by John Buckley. But the race before is good against the special weights. Not a strong number, not a strong time, but he beat special weights. And then you look at his previous form in New York, those races are good enough to beat these. I'm going to lean towards this. Obviously, I don't love this horse if he's going to be the favorite. I don't think he'll be the favorite in here, but he'll be one of the horses that would have a good chance to win. And I'm going off the race 2 back, and I'm going to use him on top. Trigger Pull's an interesting one. I mean, Trigger Pull will stretch out for the first time, and he drops in class. Encaustics, we've seen Encaustics go long. It seems like they do better in sprints, though, here at Finger Lakes, even though Encaustic was a router. But he's had a few that have gone long and done well going long. Not strong route breed on the dam side, but she could go long, and some of the siblings did go long as well. So this horse shouldn't have any trouble with the distance. It's an easier field than what he's been facing, and if he can get the distance, he can win here. The other thing is going to be pace scenario. Will Paint the Edges be able to get the lead, or will Trigger Pull get out there to challenge Paint the Edges for the lead? And if the track's like yesterday, one of those two probably have a big edge in this field. And I'm thinking Trigger Pull on the drop in class and stretching out to an easier field. If he can get the distance, he's going to be there. Makes sense. I mean, Cray the same. I mean, this horse has just simply been overmatched. I don't know why this horse has been up against the allowance horses. It's not even like they're small fields. He's just been overmatched, to say the least. He did. I mean, he's only beaten one horse in the two races, so gets. But it's not like it's an allowance horse dropping in class to 5,000. This horse isn't an allowance horse. He's a 5,000 claimer, just simply overmatched in allowance races. So he's basically where he belongs against 5,000 claimers. The question is going to be pace and how this track plays, because he's a horse that comes from out of it, and if they don't come back to him, he's got no chance. And he matches up. He should be competitive against 5,000s. He's not better than 5,000. He's competitive against 5,000s, so I think he makes the number. Paint the Edges. What can you say about Paint the Edges? I mean, I really liked this horse last time. Picked him on top. Thought he was the winner when he opened up a 2 or 3 length lead before they hit the stretch. I mean, I'm thinking, how are they going to catch this horse? He went 114 to the 3/4 after doing 49 in the change to the half, and how did he get beat? I mean, I kind of think it wasn't that he got tired. Watching the race again overnight and then into this morning, it looked like he actually looked for competition. And because when they got to him, Cavensburg got to him on the inside and Lightning Rob passed him on the outside, he actually seemed to come back on again when Cavensburg got to him. He actually almost came back to finish second in front of Cavensburg. Maybe he was looking for competition. Well, that's a concern. I mean, if he does get the lead and goes out there, is he going to do this? Is he going to do the same thing? I don't know how this horse got beat last time, but I think that had a little bit to do with it when you look at the end of that race. It's a concern for me, though, and it's hard for me to take him on top because, let's face it, there was no excuse for him not to win that race with those fractions and the easy lead he had. 2, 4, 3, 5 for me in race number 2. All right, the third race, a 12-5 maiden claimer. How many American Pharaohs have we had run at Finger Lakes? I mean, okay, this is probably the first. I might be wrong. Maybe we had another one, but I mean, they're just coming out now with these horses by American Pharaoh, the Triple Crown winner. But I mean, how can I go against the horse by American Pharaoh stretching out to a route? I can't. And you know what? I mean, he's getting beat by a landslide. He got beat 15 lengths in his last race in a 20,000 open maiden claimer. But here's the thing. He still beat 5 horses in that race. So to me, dropping to a 12-5 maiden out of a 20,000 open at Belmont, if he beat 5 horses there, those 5 horses are probably as good as anybody in this field. That's the point. And he should be better going long. Maybe he didn't like the turf, and maybe he didn't like a sprint. This will be the first time going long on the dirt, and it's at the cheapest level he's ever been. Supposed to do well here. But yeah, there's question marks. It's not like he's been competitive or close to winning any of those maiden races in New York. But you look at this field, he doesn't have to be much here. By American Pharaoh, what can you say? The one, Night Escort, steps up in class to 75, got beat for 75, which was a little bit of a surprise. Was bet down to be the big favorite. Didn't make the lead, though, in a paceless field. Didn't have any speed whatsoever. You got to, it's not that he didn't like the off track because his debut was a really good effort in the slop. So what excuse can you make? Well, he didn't make the lead in a race that didn't have any pace. That's the excuse. But it's also a problem when they went 23 and 48. Can he go long still? Can he beat 12-5 maiden claimers? Well, his New York form says, yeah. I mean, he should be able to beat. You look at his debut, yeah, he should be able to beat this field. If he runs anything like that, he's going to win. Going to use him second, though, behind the American Pharaoh horse. The 5, Starship Gotham, showed good works for his debut, so obviously a lot of people played him. in his debut, and he ran a real clunker. Now, he was wide chasing, and he is bred better to go long than short. So we'll see if he takes that kind of money again today. I think they were betting him off the works last time, but going a route, maybe he should be able to run a lot better. He's better bred for the distance. I'll use Immersion for fourth, but here's the thing with Immersion. You look at his 5 starts. He's only had one good one. So which Immersion is going to show up? I mean, most likely it's the one that's getting beat by better horses in those races. I mean, they're better horses, but I mean, it's not like he had an easy lead the day he won. I mean, they went 47 and 113 at Tampa and almost held on. I mean, that's a big race. Can he repeat that race? Was there a different horse posing as Immersion at Tampa? I don't know. I mean, it was a much better race. Maybe he was feeling it that day. But his race here was not good, and that's a problem. He got the lead in a race that didn't have a ton of early speed. It's not like he went that fast in that race and stopped badly. He'll have to run better than that, but maybe second over the track, he does. I'm going with a 3-1-5-6. A lot of question marks in that race. Fourth race, a 7,500 claimer. This race starts the pick 6 with a 9-race card. Again, no carryover, as the pick 6 was hit again yesterday by one ticket. Or one guy just cleaning up. I got the pick 6 today. I'll hit it with 20 cents straight. I'm going to lean towards Who Is Jared. I thought this horse ran a big race last time, running second to a horse that got away on the front end with an easy lead and easy fractions. And this one still came rolling and was getting to Striking Mike at the end despite breaking badly. That's a good effort. I guess you got to be concerned why the drop. I would think the horse would go up in class off of the race, but drops to 75, and all he's got to do is repeat that last effort unless somebody gets loose on him again today. Could happen, but I'm going Who Is Jared on top. I'll use Isaiah for second. Another one that's knocking at the door. Was flying late. I liked this horse last time. I guess the only concern I have is, does he want to win? I mean, his only win was at the 6 furlong distance. He's 1 for 10 in his career. The other problem is pace. There isn't a lot of speed in this race. Same problem with Who Is Jarrett. Will he be chasing again a horse that gets away? Maybe Bowing Snowman sends a little more from the rail. Not a lot of speed, though, in race number 4, and that's, again, a problem for Isaiah. It was Isaiah who was coming late. Just it may not get the pace. That's the question. Yeah, Bowing Snowman steps up off the claim. Did show some route speed, but does this horse have sprint speed? I guess that's the question. Who is the speed in here? I mean, this one was showing speed in those mile and mile 16th races. And you look back to his sprints as a 2-year-old, he is close up to some decent fractions, 22 in New York. So if you're looking for somebody, maybe can get the lead in here in a race that nobody has any speed. Maybe Who Is Jarrett goes for the front end. He does have some tactical speed. Maybe he won't sit off of, like he sat off of Striking Mike last time. But Bowing Snowman's another one who was a beaten favorite last time for 5,000, steps up, but draws the rail and might be in the race early today. Smoking Alone. I mean, he had a horrible trip last time, but this is a horse that finds excuses all the time. I like his different running style. He was a horse that always went to the front, but they changed it a little bit with Sabine and Hernandez, and it seems to be working. This horse is firing every time. He's coming up short on the win end because of that different running style, and he's hanging a little bit at the end. But the problem was last time wasn't that he hung. The problem was he had some traffic problems, and he had a horrible trip all around, but he overcame it to be third. So you got to think the horse is going to be in the number again today. The one problem is he's stepping up in class to face better horses. So even if he gets a cleaner trip, that doesn't mean he's going to win. But you think he's going to be there against this tougher field. I'm going to use him fourth. All right, fifth race. A 5,000 maiden claimer. We start the pick 5 with this race. And like the second race, a little difficult to handicap. Not so much who's the best out of those horses. It's who's going to win by default in here. You know, maybe one of these first-time starters can win because nobody else shows that they can win. I mean, you look at the firsters. I got one of them second, Weather Advisory, just because it is decent breeding out of Weather. I mean, the only other horse out of Weather to run was Mr. Carter. That's the half. And Mr. Carter was a decent horse here at Finger Lakes. Ran pretty well, was allowance horse and dropped down and was competitive every time. I think Aquilano had him for a while. Weather advisory, again, doesn't have to be much. She's got decent works, pretty good works. I use her second, though. I mean, she's starting for 5,000, so is Betty Boom. You don't think much of your horses, either one of these firsters, if you're starting them for 5,000. I never like to take firsters on top for 5, and sometimes they win. And when they win by a lot, you got to think, well, maybe they were misspotted in that race. They gave up a lot of money. But against this field, you never know. I mean, one of these firsters, again, they don't have to be much. You know who the speed is. It looks like she's so golden, but she had no excuse last time. Hard to take her on top off of the last race. You got JC the Destroyer. Has had too many chances. She's got a little speed, maybe not as fast as she's so golden. Hard to take her on top. Biley's tough to take, or Blay is tough to take off the last race. So who are you left with? Here comes Meg by default. I think that's who I got on top. She's had some problems at the start. I guess you got an excuse the last couple of races. Her New York form's not terrible. Her form here's not bad. Maybe she was just didn't want the distance last time. She got the front and stopped badly. I think I liked this horse last time, and I was wrong because she couldn't get the distance. Or just wasn't good enough. I mean, Miss Ross just destroyed that field, and I don't know where that came from because Miss Ross had just barely hit the board against a field that went the slowest time of the year. But that one really fired that day, and everybody else was just going for a piece. The race before I mentioned had some trouble in the Virginia Does race. Only got beat a length in there. Now cuts back a distance, and yeah, I don't think she could go long. She turns back to 5.5 and catches a field. It could be a now or never type race for Here Comes Meg. I'm saying that unless the firsters or anything. Because I don't like anybody else, I'm taking weather advisory for second off the first time start. Half to Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter would beat these easy. She's so gold, I'm taking for third just because maybe she's the main speed of the race. If she could clear JC the Destroyer early and the firsters don't have speed. She's got to hang out a little better than what she did last time. And then Blay. Her only good race is 2 back and going 5 furlongs. Is it safe to say maybe she doesn't want to go 5.5? She's got to go shorter? I don't know. I mean, she does have one good race in New York. If she can run back to that race in February in New York, she can win here. And if she can run back to the race 2 back, she could be competitive here. But I got her making the number 2654 in race number 5. I mean, the other firster is Betty Boom, another encaustic. But the siblings are combined 0 for 29. I don't know. It's a tough race. Somebody's got to win race number 5. All right, let's look at the 6th. And this is a good race. This is an allowance event for fillies and mares that never won 2 condition that came up really good. I mean, you got the return of Nightcap. What a trip. You don't see too many horses win off a bad trip. I think it was that one Charlton Baker horse that Andre Worry just barely stayed on. Or broke bad. I think of the other one that he barely stayed on was 1-9. But he broke so bad and he still won. Nightcap broke bad, was on heels of horses early in the race, and still looked like he was hopelessly beaten. I mean, the horse got away on the front end, Mission Cat, so he ran against a lone speed horse. He still got up to win. I'm not concerned about the time. I mean, he had so much trouble. And yeah, I mean, the horse that was second, Mission Cat's going to do 106. I mean, that's the time. This horse with a clean trip probably would have done 105 or faster, but that's just the point. A horse is more impressive when he overcomes trouble and wins than a horse that just has a perfect trip and runs a fast time. That's more impressive to me, and I'm going to come back with her. I think she could step up and face winners and come back and win if she has a better trip. I mean, she's not going to get away with a trip like that and beat allowance horses. She's not going to. But with a clean trip today, she can win. I got her on top. Crazy Delight's another good-looking 3-year-old filly. She won first time out as a 2-year-old. It may be taking a little while to get going this year. She did improve second time out last time with a 3rd place finish at 27-1 against another pretty decent allowance field. So 3rd start off the layoff. Maybe this is a 3-year-old that's taking a little while to get going. Maybe she can fire a good one today. Gilda Marie, the problem with her is she's off a layoff. She's had a few starts in New York. She's shown some talent. but she's only had one start since January of 2020. That's why I couldn't take her on top or first or second. I mean, that's a lot of time, and that usually means there's some issues there. You look at the time away. December, January, then didn't run again till December of 2020. A long time away, and then that was the one start, and then didn't run again until today. Could fire a big one, but I'm going to use her third. For fourth, I'm going to throw in Game Theory at 10-1. Had no chance in New York last time. Maybe they were just taking a shot to see if she could run on turf. Well, she did run okay on turf. She's probably better on other surfaces. She just wasn't good enough to beat that field. That was the problem. I don't have a problem with her trying a turf race. She's got to catch an easier group. The races before are okay against allowance horses. She did show some talent as a 2-year-old. I mean, what a big race she ran as a 2-year-old. She just hasn't blossomed to run as good as what she showed her one race here as a 2-year-old at Finger Lakes. Maybe she will. Maybe she's just taking some time. 6, 4, 5, 7 for me in race number 6. All right, 7th race, we scratched the 5. Frosty the Dragon. I'll speed up a little bit. I like Rally Cap's the inside speed to come back here. You know, there's not a ton of speed outside of her. You got maybe I Will Rock You. It's got some tactical speed. Winning with Honors out there. I don't know if she's going to be sent in to try to go with Rally Cap early. And you look at the race Rally Cap comes out of, she beat Preferred Outcome, who came back to win her next start. That was a pretty good $5,000 field. I don't think this field is much tougher. Got her on top 4-1. Winning with Honor. Big effort last time. She ran a quick time for the day. The only negative was the inside was good that day, but yeah, but again, she ran down a horse that was alone on the lead. That was impressive for Winning with Honor. She seemed to improve in that race, so this old timer's still going pretty good. Don't like the post today, but she can lay close to the Rally Cap, and she can be in the top 3. And it looks like she's back. I mean, she ran a better race last time. Again, yeah, she was with the track with the rail, but she ran it down a lone speed horse. I'll use the 2 Lovers Leap for third. She probably got the worst of it. She was wide on that inside day, but she got beat pretty badly by Winning with Honor, so she'll have to make up those lengths. And then you got Special Story, who gets a break after running poorly last time. 1, 8, 2, 7 in the 7th. 8th race, scratch the 2, La Rubia, and the 3, Hazy. I'll probably never say that one right. I've been saying Tax Me Not is better going long than short. In the last 3 races, she keeps running short. So finally gets a route race, so we'll see if that does make a difference. She broke slow last time in that sprint anyway, but she wasn't beating Grudge. Stretches out today. Looks like she's the speed of the race. She could get out there. I think she can beat these horses because I think she wants to go long. Got her on top. Main threat, Sister Patricia, comes back from New York. She's good going long or short, maybe even better going long. You look at her route career. She's had 8 starts going long, 2 wins, a second, and 5 thirds. That means she's never missed the board going long in her career. I'm using her in the top 3. Whispering Rose got beat by the pace in that race. Big Sin got away on the front end with some easy fractions. This horse didn't run that badly. Sniff came out of that race, looked impressive at victory in her next start. And then I'll throw in the 9, Royal Bonnie Legacy. Likes this oval. 3 of her 4 wins have come at Finger Lakes, and she ran better last time. All right, last race. Maiden event. Goes the distance of 6 furlongs. There's some good ones in here. I mean, this was a tough one. I mean, What's My Category looks like a horse underneath type, so I couldn't take her as a favorite. I did like the race Interstate ran against the track last time. It was a good inside day, the day that Interstate ran. And this horse was closing, actually making up some ground in that race despite being wide. So that's what I kind of look for against the racetrack. It's a little more distance, 6 furlongs today, against the same type of horses. Just a lean towards this one. What's My Category, again, definitely has the numbers to win, but he's been a beaten favorite 2 races in a row. So maybe giving up on this one on the win end, but still got to use in the try. Holy Cowboy's another one. I mean, this horse just finds trouble. The race, the race 2 back, looked like he was a cowboy in there, trying to get through horses and just had some bad racing luck. The race before maybe got beat at the start a little bit, but still made up some ground late. I think this horse could be there today, but got to get a clean trip. 4, 7, 6, 2 in today's ninth race. That's right, 9 of them today. Got some extra chances to make some money. Good racetrack to start off. We're running Monday through Wednesday this week. So, of course, the next live racing day will be tomorrow with the 110 first post. We'll see you then.
Race 1 on the Tuesday card. 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of a race in the past 6 months. $5,000 claimers, a 6-furlong affair. No changes. Fast racetrack. Racetrack now graded fast. Fast racetrack for the Tuesday card. 9 races. Race 1 starts the early double and the early pick 3. Post time is in 5 minutes. Here's the field. 1, Lookout Jace with Carlos Camillo. The 2 is Monsieur, Harry Hernandez. Next will be number 3, It's Hot Out, the overwhelming selection at 1-2 with John Davila Jr. 4 is Full Faith and Credit with Oscar Gomez. 5 is Best Surprise, Michael Davila Jr., stablemate to the 1, Lookout Jace. And the 6 is Dreamer's Boy and Wilfredo Rohina. 4 minutes until the opener. 1:10 is the scheduled post time. Two minutes until the opener. One minute post time in a minute. It's post time for the Tuesday opener. Big favorite, number 3, it's hot out. 1-4 indeed. It is hot out. Very hot and humid this afternoon. It's hot out, dominating the wagering at 1-4. Dreamer's Boy, the 6, is the second choice. That's 7-1 along with the 5 Best Surprise. There's Best Surprise's stablemate. Look out, Jace. Both conditioned by Caitlin Gooderson. Monsieur. Heavy favorite. It's hot out. Next will be Full Faith and Credit. Once upon a time, a former stablemate to Dreamer's Boy when they were both conditioned by the late, great Dan Conway. Here's Best Surprise and Dreamer's Boy to the outside. Ready for the opener. And there they go. Look out, Jace is showing good speed. It's hot out, engages him very quickly. Best Surprise is up close to the action. Full Faith and Credit has the 4th spot. Monsieur assumes that position from the rail. Dreamer's Boy from the far outside. Look out, Jace is taking it to the favorite. It's hot out. They are side by side. 2.5 lengths to Best Surprise, who's 3 parts of a length in front of Monsieur. Similar margin to Dreamer's Boy in the clear. And Full Faith and Credit is now at the back. They race to the 3/8. It's hot out. Puts those white blinkers in front, and he kicks for the wire right now, opening up half a length, 3 parts of a length. Look out, Jace comes under pressure. His stablemate Best Surprise is trying to pick up the pieces. Dreamer's Boy is progressing nicely, although a little wide, but he's in with a look. I'm going to Monsieur and Full Faith and Credit. It's hot out, softened up by Look Out, Jace. Can anybody come and pick up the pieces? Dreamer's Boy is going to try to be the player to the outside. Best Surprise fights on. Full Faith and Credit tries to rally to the far outside. Here's Dreamer's Boy. Past Glass in his corner, and here is the Dreamer's Boy we have come to know. And it's Dreamer's Boy, his 7th career score. Look at him strut his stuff. It's hot out second, then Full Faith and Credit and Best Surprise checked in 4th. $112 and 2100. An upset in the opener. 6-1. Number 6, Dreamer's Boy. Had a feeling that 15th of June race wasn't a true indication who the real Dreamer's Boy is. He has run some big races in the past here at Finger Lakes. The 7-year-old by Scat Daddy really rock and rolled this afternoon. A much the best winner. Second place 3. It's hot out. Photo sign is there for 3rd and 4th. Once again, that final running time, 112 and 2100. Third place, number 4, Full Faith and Credit. He gets the photo over number 5, Best Surprise, finishing 4th. 6-3-4-5 up on the board. Dreamer's Boy, his 7th career victory. He is a 7-year-old bay gelding by Scat Daddy out of the dam. Hold on to your dream. Owned by BMF Racing Stable. Winning trainer Stephen Eubink. Winning jockey, the Master, Wilfredo Rohina. Winner was bred in Kentucky by Normandy Farm. The opener is official. $15 winner named Dreamer's Boy. 6-3 exacta, $48.40. 6-3-4 trifecta, $55. The dollar super, 6-3-4-5, $134.50. Second race is clear of change, pretty light on changes. Race 2 will start the early pick 4. Really no significant changes in the pick 4 sequence. Second race is in 23 minutes at 1:39.
in the paddock for race number 2, and that was look out, Jace going after It's Hot Out early. It's Hot Out had an issue putting that one away, and they were going 6 furlongs, so it was fast enough to soften up that 2-5 favorite, and it was the old class horse Strama's Boy who took advantage of the duel and was able to run better second time off the layoff to get the victory. Of course, Strama's Boy, very consistent horse over the years. He gets the win for Stephen Eubank, and Wilfredo Rohina guided that one to victory, passing the 2-5 favorites. So you got a price of 6-1 on Drama's Boy in race number 1. It certainly pays off if you can beat a heavy favorite. Second race, a 5,000 claimer, never won 2 condition, going a distance of a mile 70. The current favorite is the 5, Paint the Edges. Paint the Edges, no excuse last time, as he was able to get a clear lead early, controlled the pace, but still got caught in the late stages, maybe looking for a little competition in that race, and ended up finishing 3rd. So he'll have to run better, at least sustain that speed a little better against these. We'll see if he can at least hold on better second time going long. He's right now at odds of 9-5, taking a lot of early play. The 2 is Ring Good. He takes a big drop in class. Broke his maiden against special weights, first race over the track in the slop, and then ran into Dancers for Token, and man, did that one win by a lot. So, you know, the margin of defeat maybe not as bad as it looks. He did lose by 30 lengths, but the winner won by over 18. But this one takes a big drop in class, and at 5,000, maybe should be considered. The other horse getting some play is the 6, Jerry's Junkyard. If you're looking for maybe some of these horses to back up, maybe the addition of blinkers could help a little bit with Jerry's Junkyard. It wasn't like he was that badly beaten on a good track last time, but other than the maiden victory, he hasn't really shown much. But in this barn, you always expect him to improve, and let's see if the equipment change will help. Let's see, as long as he can work out a trip, maybe he gets a stalking trip behind Paint the Edges and Trigger Pull. Those are some of the horses getting some play here for the second. Got about 9 minutes to post. Exacta Tri Super Daily Double Pick 3, and Pick 4 starts in here.
Second race, 1 mile and 70 yards. 3-year-olds and up now, winners of 2 races, $5,000 claimers. No changes. First leg of our Tuesday early pick 4 post time in 5 minutes. Here's the field. Number 1 is Gavensburg with Kevin Navarro. Next will be the 2, Ringgood and Wilfredo Rohina. The master looking to sweep both halves of the early double. 3 is Cray Cray, Jose Baez. There's the 4, Trigger Pull, Harry Hernandez. Next will be number 5, Paint the Edges, Oscar Gomez. Current second choice at 3-1. Ringgood's the current favorite at 5-2. Here's the 6, Jerry's Junkyard, Luis Perez. 7 is Take the Edge, Carlos Camillo. And the 8 is 50 plus with Emmanuel Di Diego. 4 minutes until post time. Two minutes post time in 2 minutes. Nearing the gate. It's post time for the second race. Number 2, Ring Good is the favorite at 2-1. Number 5, Paint the Edges, 3-1 on the board. Ring Good is in, joining Cavensburg. Up next will be Cray Cray. Cray Cray living up to his name. Now he's in. Jose Baez had dismounted for the loading process. That seemed to do the trick for Cray Cray. Here's Trigger Pull. Ring Good and Paint the Edges are both 5-2. Slight favoritism with number 5, Paint the Edges. By $31, here's Paint the Edges. Next will be Jerry's Junkyard. Actually, it will be Take the Edge. Take the Edge before Jerry's Junkyard. Two to load at Jerry's Junkyard and 50 plus. Ring Good, now 2-1. Paint the Edges 5-2. Jerry's in, 50 plus, the last of 8. Into the gate. Ready for the start of the early pick 4. And there they go. Take the Edge away awkwardly. 50 plus broke very alertly. He doesn't want the lead. Trigger Pull will assume that spot. Cray Cray comes away in third with Ring Good and Paint the Edges. Take the Edge very deep at the 7/8 outside of Jerry's Junkyard. Cavensburg is the last of all. And Trigger Pull's making the pace on the stretch out. Trigger Pull leads by 2 lengths. Ring Good second inside of 50 plus, who broke very alertly. He wants to stalk. From his outside is Paint the Edges. Green Silks, green cap, 3 deep. Cray Cray has the 5th position, 3 lengths from the front. About 2.5 to Jerry's Junkyard inside of Take the Edge. 7 lengths back to Cavensburg. So Trigger Pull's all alone with the lead. Plenty of pursuers. Ring Good. And also there 50 plus. And Paint the Edges in the clear from the far outside. Cray Cray sits in the 5th position, still about 3 off the lead. Better than 3.5 to Jerry's Junkyard with Take the Edge. About 4.5 lengths to Cavensburg. 48 4/5. Trigger Pull. Trigger Pull still calling the shots. Ring Good's getting a little closer up the inside. 50 plus being driven on. From the outside is Paint the Edges, also under a drive. Cray Cray's a little one pace to this point. Going to go to the rail and now try to find his stride. And Cray Cray's closing in. Ring Good now tackles Trigger Pull. Ring Good now puts his head in front. Trigger Pull tries to fight on. Cray Cray up the inside. Then 50 plus. Cavensburg has made up a lot of ground to the far outside. And Cavensburg tries to close in. So it is on the front end. Ring Good. Cavensburg has a late look. Ring Good. Cavensburg really picking up all of the momentum. Here's Cavensburg from the depths of nowhere. Cavensburg from Ring Good. Then Trigger Pull and Cray Cray 4th. $145 69 100ths the final time. Yesterday it was all speed. Today we've had some wide rallies in the first couple of races. Cavensburg last throughout. A last to first winner of race 2. 7-2 Cavensburg. Second place 2 Ring Good. Third place 4 Trigger Pull. Fourth place 3 Cray Cray. 145 69 100ths the final time. Chavensburg is in the winner's circle, a 6-year-old chestnut gelding by Tuffelsburg out of the Damn Goldie But Goodie. Owned by Glass Tip Stable LLC. Winning trainer is John Buckley. Winning jockey Kevin Navarro. Winner was bred in New York by his owners. Second race is official. 1, 2, 4, 3. A 1, 2 exactas worth $33.60. 1, 2, 4 trifecta $82.25. The dollar super $463.50. 6-1 early double $101. Third race is clear of change. No changes. Race 3. Third race is in 24 minutes at 2:09.